Today it's an honor and a privilege for me to talk about Mike Curtis and let you know something about him. I grew up in Twin Brook, and one of my childhood heroes was number 41 of the Richard Montgomery Rockets, fullback and linebacker Mike Curtis. Of the undefeated, he never lost in high school, 10-0, 10-0. And he was part of the Roy Lester era, and he was part of the Roy's boys of the 60s that still meet with their coach to this day twice a year. What made Mike rise to the top? How come it was only Mike, out of all the great players we had, that made it to the National Football League? Well, here's a couple things you got to take note of. One, he found out that lifting weights was a thing before lifting weights was a thing. Somebody mentored him and said, you can gain an edge on a more talented player if you're stronger than he is, Mike. Mike was doing weight training. Mike was always a hard worker. Mike went to Duke, became fullback at Duke, got drafted by the NFL Baltimore Colts, went in as fullback and found out that he wasn't going to play at fullback. Don Shula said, let's make you a linebacker. Mike, what do you think? I'm in, coach, chance to play. From there, what happened? From there, he comes to me in his first year, 1968, talks to all the youth of Rockville. We're all gathered together. His job is, he's on the kickoff team of the world champion Baltimore Colts. He just runs down for one play a game when they score a touchdown. He stood in front of all of us, and one kid raised his hand in questions and answers. And he says, Mike, who's the best player on the Colts? And we wanted to hear if it was Johnny Unitas or John Mackey or Bubba Smith. And Mike looked at 300 kids and he says, I am. And everybody started laughing, but Mike didn't laugh. He stared at us. See, Mike had what we call self-efficacy. He believed in himself when nobody else did. 5 years later, Mike was the Defensive Player of the Year for the National Football League, won Super Bowl V. What a jump. What a jump he made in his life from being one of us guys to being Mad Dog Mike Curtis of the NFL. Look him up on ESPN if you want to. Google him up and watch the highlights on Mike Curtis. What's he doing today? He's going to present a gold ball from the Super Bowl to Richard Montgomery. And as he gives us this ball, I think of this. Who's the new generation? Daniel Alexander. Are you going to give us our next ball? Or maybe it will be you.
Proud to be part of celebrating 50 years of Super Bowls and happy to present the Golden Football to Richard Montgomery High School. High school football begins with your path to the NFL. I look forward to seeing other Richard Montgomery football players in a Super Bowl one day.
As principal of Richard Montgomery High School, I would like to thank the National Football League and Mike Curtis for including Richard Montgomery in this fantastic honor as the NFL looks back on 50 years of Super Bowl excellence. We are proud to be part of this legacy.
On behalf of the RM football program, we're honored to accept this Golden Football, and our kids are working really hard to restore the program to its former glory to honor Mike Curtis and all the other proud alumni who built this RM tradition.